being a fan of professional wrestling, I'm always willing to give certain promotions a chance. And with a promotion like the NWA, I wanted to give them a chance. You know, this is a company that I want to support, that I choose to support, because I'm not going to throw my money away to the WWE because, quite frankly, they don't need any more money. Certainly not from me. And I sure as hell am not going to support any of those flippity-flop fuck sticks over in AEW. So where do I want to spend my money? I want to put my money on the NWA. On tradition. Old school wrestling. Because I once thought that the NWA is what wrestling should be. Show the fans what wrestling should be and what wrestling could still be. And I still feel that way. But I was debating whether or not I was actually going to do this, but I figured, why not? I ordered the pay-per-view. I'm going to review it. I put down 20 bones on Fite TV to watch Back for the Attack. Look, even though I am an NWA fan, I mean, obviously, you know, even though I am an NWA fan, I have to be honest. Any fan of professional wrestling should be willing to criticize when they feel like the promotion that they love the most is doing a mistake. And this show was a mistake. I'm sorry. All the hype you gave this show, all the hype that the NWA gave this show, making us want it. This was the NWA's official return since the pandemic put them on hiatus. I was ready to watch the Crockett Cup, and then this pandemic happened, and we never got to watch it. We never got to have it. And here we are. The NWA is finally returning to pay-per-view, and what I ended up getting was a $20 episode of NWA Power. Nothing of real consequence happened here. Well, no, I got to take that back. There were a couple of things of consequence that happened here, but this show did not wow me. I wanted this show to wow me. I wanted this show to grab me by the beard and pull me in and said, hey, motherfucker, watch this and love it. I wanted this show to do that, and it didn't do that. Let me put that down for a minute. There were a couple of highlights, but that wasn't enough to save this show. This show was not that good, folks. One thing I will say is that I did appreciate the tribute to Joseph Hudson, the former Josephus and the former question mark, which, my God, that was well done. That was well done. Paying tribute to Joseph, I liked that because the question mark. Josephus was a cool character, but my God, the question mark. Not even a question. Not even a discussion. The question mark was one of my favorite characters on NWA Power. He took that gimmick and he got it the fuck over, and I loved it. I'm going to miss this guy. I really am. Karate. Oh, I'm going to miss that. I am really going to miss that. They did a good job hyping the main event. Nick Aldis and Aaron Stevens. They did a good job hyping it. They did a good job promoting some of the matches, but there were a lot of flaws in this. There was a lot of audio issues in here, a lot of pauses. And oh God, the absolute worst thing on this show was the May Valentine segments. Oh my fucking God, these were terrible. This was Bush League bullshit. The delays, when they cut the camera to May Valentine and the delays, it just looked so goddamn awkward. It looked so piss poor and it looked like a rookie league. This is the NWA and this is the best you can do. May Valentine. I'm sorry, but I've got to be overcritical here. What is so special about this girl? What is so special? The blonde hair and the fake tits? All the plastic? There was so much plastic in her face, I'm surprised she was actually able to speak. let alone do an interview segment with people. These May Valentine segments made me groan and made me cringe, excuse me. But these were horrible. NWA, Billy Corgan, I'm telling you, do yourselves a favor. Cut her. She's worthless. This woman is worthless. I don't give a shit. I'm telling you the truth. This is how I honestly feel. And if there's any May Valentine fans out there, tough shit. This is my opinion. Deal with it. You open up the show with a 4-way match, one fall to a finish, and all 4 of these guys, I don't know who the fuck they are. You know, maybe you should go to their YouTube page or their website and learn about this and learn about this guy and learn about this guy. I don't fucking have to. Where's it written in stone that I have to go to all their social media sites and go to their website and, you know, read every biography of every wrestler they got on their roster? I don't have to fucking do that. Why should I do that? If you want me or any other fan who doesn't know who these guys are to know about these guys, put some emphasis on them. The only 2 names I remember was Crimson and Slice Boogie. I remember Slice Boogie because he ended up winning the match. But this was an opening match that barely kept my attention. I just didn't care. And then the next match we had, now, I will say, I am all for showcasing Tyrus as a monster heel. I am all for that. You sign me up. But, oh my God, this match with Kronos was bullshit. Of all the people you put in the ring with Tyrus, you picked one half of the tag team champions, Kronos. I look at a guy like Kronos and I'm thinking, this guy should also be a monster heel. And you're having him work babyface against Tyrus? I was like, this is bullshit. You seriously couldn't find a skinny little shit jobber for Tyrus to toss around and showcase him as a monster heel? Back in the old days, which is what the NWA is trying to represent, is the good old days of professional wrestling, you seriously couldn't find a jobber for Tyrus to smack around and showcase him as a monster heel and get him some heat and get him the fuck over? You couldn't do that? But instead you give us a Haas fight and we're supposed to give a shit about Kronos and root for him? I don't give a fuck about him. I don't already know anything about him. You want to showcase Tyrus, you throw him in there with a scrawny little shit and you have him bitch smack him all over the place. Smear his ass all over the mat. Get him the fuck over as a monster heel. You do that, sign me up. That way you can put him in a line with guys like Kronos. Don't do it right off the bat. That was bullshit. Speaking of bullshit, the NWA television title match. The Pope defends the TV title against Tom Latimer. And I'm thinking, I went into this pay-per-view thinking there's no way Aaron Stevens is winning the world title. No way. But I figured if there was ever a place to do a title change, my God, this was the match to do it. This is where you needed to do a title change. You had to change the title here. You had to. To me, Tom Latimer is ready to be a showcase heel for that company. I'm not trying to be a fan for all the heels of wrestling, but Tom Latimer was establishing himself as a true heel before the pandemic started. This was your chance to capitalize on it. But no, you go to a bullshit time limit draw so that way the Pope doesn't get hurt. So that way the Pope doesn't have to eat a pinfall. It would not have hurt the Pope to take the loss and drop the title to Tom Latimer. I figured of all the title matches you had on this card, this was the title that needed to change hands. Showcase Tom Latimer and showcase the NWA World Television Championship while you're at it. But instead you do a bullshit draw finish where neither guy looks good from it, neither guy gets over, and it felt like an incredible waste of time. Horrible. Horrible decision. I like the Pope. I like the Pope. I think he's charismatic as all hell. But Tom Latimer needed to win that belt tonight. Needed to win that belt. He really needed to. I believe that you had a match between... Oh yeah, here, let's talk about my favorite match on the card. Thunder Rosa and Camille. The winner became the #1 contender for the NWA Women's title. All right, since your champion, Serena Deeb, is injured, let's have a #1 contenders match, and we'll build a rivalry for her to come back and blah, blah, blah. This match was phenomenal. This was hands down the match of the night. Two women beating the fuck out of each other and making it look good. They didn't go overboard with the false finishes. They were both selling pretty well. Thunder Rosa did a fantastic job working with a girl like Camille. But in the back of my mind, I was thinking throughout this entire match, Camille needs to win this match. Because you got her over, and you got her over, and you got her over during NWA Power. It would be a damn shame business-wise to have Thunder Rosa go over. But at the same time, if you were to have Thunder Rosa go over, I would be fine with that. Because you're showcasing that not only both of these women are tough, both of these women are badass, and the way you presented this match and the way these two women worked with each other made me a believer that I would be fine with either one of them winning. But Camille winning was the better decision. Like I said, I would have been fine if Thunder Rosa went over. But Camille going over was the right decision. And then you can feed Serena Deeb to her, put the women's title on her, and build Camille up as a monstrous women's champion for girls like Thunder Rosa and Allison Kay and Marty Bell to chase after her. I thought this was an outstanding match. Easily the best match of the night. And I believe we had the National Heavyweight Championship, which Mae Valentine called the NWA World's National Championship. Oh my God, why is this bitch a thing? Why is she there? Why? Trevor Murdoch defends the title against Chris Adonis, the former Chris Masters. This match was alright. Nothing really fantastic about the match itself, but I liked what they did after the finish with Chris Adonis going full-fledged heel on Trevor Murdoch and beating the piss out of him. I thought that was a good spot. But clearly you're setting up a rivalry between these two, and it feels like it's only a matter of time before Chris Adonis gets that belt. If I forgot any matches, I'm sorry. But then the main event. Nick Aldis defending the 10 pounds of gold. The NWA World's Heavyweight Championship. Sweet Charlotte defending the belt against Aaron Stevens. You know, I went into this match knowing Nick Aldis was going to win. I didn't believe for a damn second that Aaron Stevens was going to win this title. I didn't believe it for a minute. Even with all the false finishes, I couldn't get emotionally invested in this match because I knew Nick Aldis was winning. I felt like it was too obvious. But there was a split second where I thought, are they going to swerve us to honor Joseph Hudson and actually put the strap on Aaron Stevens? And I'm thinking, even if they were going to do that, you can put the belt on Aaron Stevens and have Nick Aldis win it right back like a week or two later. I mean, if you want to do the Kerry Von Erich spot where he wins the title to honor a fallen comrade, a fallen brother, literally a fallen brother, you had Kerry Von Erich win the NWA World title off Ric Flair and he dropped it like, 8-9 days later? You could have done the same thing with Aaron Stevens. But I felt like all this match served a purpose for was to showcase Aaron Stevens. And that some wrestling fans should indeed take him seriously, even though he is a comedy wrestler. He is an entertainment wrestler, and he's a damn good one. He is a damn good one. He is one of my favorite talents on the NWA roster. He's very entertaining. I love the stuff he does. But this was a match about showcasing how serious he can get, especially going after the richest prize in wrestling. I thought the match was fine for what it was. But again, we have Nick Aldis retaining with another fucking small package. How many times is Nick Aldis going to retain the title with a small package or a roll-up finish? You really want to showcase this guy, have him beat Aaron Stevens the same way he beat Cody Rhodes with the Texas Cloverleaf or whatever he calls it. Have him win significantly. Have him win definitively and retain this title. I thought the finish went off like a fart, and the best thing about the match was the aftermath when everybody got into the ring and held up the Mongrovian flag and paid tribute to Joseph Hudson. The match itself did not wow me. Even with the false finishes, the hope spot of Aaron Stevens just barely beating the 10 count, getting back in the ring at 9. Nothing about this match captivated me because it was too predictable that Nick Aldis was retaining. Overall, this show was not impressive. Too many audio issues, too many video issues. Mae Valentine needs to get the fuck out of wrestling. I almost said get the fuck out of the NWA. No, she needs to get the fuck out of wrestling, period. None of the titles changed hands, which I thought was a fucking shame. You really want to advertise the NWA being back. They are back for the attack. If anything, the television title should have changed hands. Tom Latimer, I felt like, should have won the TV title. I don't have a problem with Trevor Murdoch keeping the national title. And I knew the tag team titles were not going to be defended because Aaron Stevens is one half of the tag team champions with Kronos. But I knew Nick Aldis was retaining. I knew the national title probably wasn't going to go anywhere. But the TV title was the belt that needed to change. I knew there wasn't going to be a women's title match because Serena Deeb is currently injured. Whether it's real or kayfabe, I don't fucking care. But the best match on the card was easily the women's match. Thunder Rosa and Camille. Fantastic match. But one good match does not save an entire show. This show was bad. Of all of the NWA that I have watched over the past 2 years, that includes every episode I've watched of NWA Power, Into the Fire, Hard Times, all the shows that I have watched from the NWA, this is easily the worst one. This is easily the worst NWA show I've seen in the past 2 years. Even the episodes of Shockwave that I've watched had something about him that got my attention. But my God, back for the attack. There was nothing attacking. There was nothing to really showcase the NWA being back. All this was a $20 episode of NWA Power. That's all this was. I'm sorry, but that's the way I see it. And I stand by my opinion. So there's my review of NWA Back for the Attack. This show was so bad, I'm seriously questioning whether or not I want to stay loyal, because of all the time you've had to get this company back up and going and get us all hyped up and everything, if this is the best you can do, I don't know. I don't know if I can stay subscribed to NWA Power or not. If this is honestly the best you can do, when you could clearly do better than this, then I just don't know. I don't know what the future could be for this company, for this promotion. But seriously, you need to step it up.